The massive alien ship darkened the sky over New York as it descended through the clouds. People stopped in their tracks, pointing their phones upward to capture the moment that would change human history forever. The Galactic Council had finally arrived on Earth, and they'd brought what they called a diplomatic gift. Captain James Reed stood at attention beside the landing pad, watching as the sleek diplomatic vessel touched down. His weathered face remained neutral, but his mind raced with possibilities. After 20 years in the Space Force, he had seen plenty, but nothing quite like this. The alien delegation emerged from their ship with practiced grace. Ambassador Krill led them, his tall, slim frame wrapped in shimmering robes that seemed to change color with each movement. Behind him, 4 other council members followed, their expressions unreadable on their gray-skinned faces. Captain Reed. Ambassador Krill spoke through his translator, his voice carrying a hint of something that sounded almost like amusement. "We are pleased to present humanity with this token of our goodwill." He gestured to the sky, where a massive shape was slowly becoming visible through the clouds. As the object descended, Reed's heart sank. The ship, if it could still be called that, looked like it had been through a war. Its hull was scarred and pitted, with entire sections showing bare metal where armor had been stripped away. It was easily the size of an aircraft carrier, but it moved like a wounded animal, limping through the sky on struggling engines. Lisa Thompson, the chief engineer assigned to the project, stepped up beside him. "Sir," she whispered, "that thing looks like it came from a junkyard." Reed nodded slightly but kept his face neutral. He could see the barely concealed smirks on the faces of the junior council members. This wasn't a gift. It was an insult wrapped in diplomatic niceties. The derelict ship, which Ambassador Krill proudly announced was called the Stalwart, settled onto the massive reinforced landing pad with a groan of protesting metal. Up close, it looked even worse. Patches of what might have once been beautiful alien script were now faded and scarred, and several of the weapon mounts were clearly empty, stripped of anything valuable. The Stalwart, Ambassador Krill announced with false reverence, is a vessel of great historical significance. It served in many important campaigns before its retirement. He paused, looking down at Reed with those strange, violet eyes. "We thought it would be most appropriate for humanity's first step into galactic society." Reed heard what wasn't being said. "We're giving you our trash because that's all you deserve." The next few hours were a blur of diplomatic ceremonies and speeches. World leaders appeared via video link to express their gratitude, while tech companies' stock prices soared at the mere prospect of alien technology to study. Through it all, Reed watched Lisa walking around the ship's perimeter, her tablet computer constantly scanning and recording. When the ceremonies finally ended, Reed and Lisa were allowed their first look inside. The ship's interior matched its exterior, stripped bare of anything valuable, with only the most basic systems still functioning. The bridge looked like it had been ransacked, with empty panels where advanced equipment had once been mounted. "They took everything worth taking," Lisa muttered, running her hand along a dusty console. "Weapons, shields, sensors, all stripped out. Even the artificial gravity is barely working." She kicked a piece of debris across the floor, watching it float slightly before settling. "We'd need to rebuild almost everything from scratch." Reed watched her work, noting how her initial disappointment was slowly being replaced by curiosity. Lisa had a reputation for seeing potential where others saw only problems. Right now, she was examining a power conduit with intense interest. "Look at this," she called him over. "The power readings don't make sense. This ship looks dead, but there's significant energy flowing through these systems. It's like they stripped out the fancy parts, but left the backbone intact." Reed felt a glimmer of hope. "Can we work with that?" Lisa's eyes lit up with the challenge. "Give me time and a good team, and we can do more than just work with it. The aliens might think they're giving us garbage, but they've actually given us exactly what we need. A blank slate." As they continued their inspection, Reed's communicator buzzed. The message was brief. "Fuel clearance guaranteed." Whatever resources need, make it work. He showed the message to Lisa, who grinned. They want us to make it work. Oh, we'll make it work all right. We'll make it work better than those smug aliens ever imagined. Over the next few days, as the alien delegation prepared to leave Earth, Reed assembled his team. He chose people who were not just skilled, but creative. Engineers who could think outside the box, technicians who could improvise solutions, and scientists who weren't afraid to challenge conventional wisdom. The aliens watched with poorly hidden amusement as humans swarmed over their gift like ants. Ambassador Krill made a show of providing technical documentation, most of which was heavily redacted or so basic it was nearly useless. We wouldn't want to overwhelm you, he said smoothly. On the day the Galactic Council delegation departed, Ambassador Krill made one final visit to the Stalwart. He found Reed and Lisa on what remained of the bridge, surrounded by tools and diagnostic equipment. I do hope you'll be able to make some use of this vessel, he said, his translator carrying that same note of condescension. Perhaps as a museum piece or a training facility for your developing space program. Lisa looked up from her tablet, her face carefully blank. Oh, we'll find a use for it, Ambassador. Thank you for your generosity. As the ambassador's ship rose into the sky, Reed stood with his team, watching it disappear into the clouds. All right, he said, turning to face them. Let's show them what humans can do with a little junk and a lot of determination. Looking at the Stalwart's scared hull gleaming in the sunset, Reed felt something he hadn't expected. Excitement. The aliens thought they were giving Earth a piece of trash, a symbol of humanity's place at the bottom of the galactic hierarchy. But they had made a crucial mistake. They had given humans exactly what humans do best with: a challenge, a problem to solve, and the motivation to prove everyone wrong. The real work was about to begin. 3 weeks after the aliens left, Lisa Thompson found herself staring at something impossible. She had been working late in the Stalwart's engine room, tracing power readings that didn't make sense, when she discovered a hidden panel behind what looked like a solid wall. The readings from her scanner had led her here, and after hours of careful work, she had finally managed to open it. Inside was a sight that made her breath catch. A crystalline structure pulsed with deep blue energy, sending waves of power through nearly invisible conduits. This wasn't some backup generator or auxiliary system. This was the ship's true heart, and it was far more advanced than anything the aliens had pretended to give them. She grabbed her phone and called Reed immediately. Captain, you need to see this. Now. Reed arrived 15 minutes later, his uniform wrinkled from a long day of meetings. He stopped short when he saw the hidden chamber. What am I looking at, Lisa? This, she said, gesturing to the glowing crystal structure, is why the power readings never made sense. The aliens stripped out all the fancy systems, but they left the core. Either they couldn't remove it, or they didn't think we'd ever find it. She pulled up a diagram on her tablet. The energy output is massive. This thing could power a small city. But that's not the interesting part. She swiped to another screen showing complex energy patterns. Look at how it channels power. It's not just moving energy from point A to point B. It's amplifying it, changing it in ways I've never seen before. Reed studied the diagrams, his tired eyes growing more alert. Can we use it? Better than that, Lisa grinned. We can improve it. The aliens were using maybe 10% of its potential. They built all these safeguards and limiters into their systems, probably because they thought they knew best. But if we combine this with our particle acceleration technology, she trailed off, her eyes bright with possibilities. Over the next few days, more discoveries followed. Tom Baker, their computer specialist, found encrypted data logs hidden deep in the ship's systems. They didn't wipe everything, he reported, his fingers flying over his keyboard. They just buried it under layers of junk data. Classic misdirection. Make something look so boring that nobody bothers to dig deeper. The logs revealed the Stalwart's true history. It hadn't been just another warship. It had been a prototype, and experimental vessel testing technologies that the Galactic Council had later deemed too unpredictable to use. Instead of destroying it, they had stripped it down and turned it into a diplomatic gift, never imagining that humans might unlock its secrets. Reed gathered his core team in a secure room, away from the countless sensors that monitored their work. From now on, he said, looking at each of them in turn, we maintain two projects. The public one, where we struggle to get basic systems working, and the real one. As far as anyone outside this room knows, we're having a hard time just getting the artificial gravity stabilized. The team understood. They set up a careful act, making sure visiting officials and alien observers saw exactly what they expected, humans fumbling with technology beyond their understanding. Meanwhile, in sealed chambers and during night shifts, the real work continued. Lisa and her engineering team worked miracles. They took the alien power core's ability to amplify energy and combined it with human innovations in particle physics. Where alien engineers had built careful limitations, humans asked, what if? Where alien scientists had stopped at good enough, humans pushed for better. The ship's AI presented another challenge and another opportunity. The aliens had left a basic system running life support and navigation, but Tom discovered it was just a surface layer. Hidden beneath was a much more sophisticated intelligence, dormant but intact. They tried to lobotomize it, Tom explained, showing Reed the code architecture. But they were so convinced of their superiority that they did a sloppy job. The core personality is still there. We just need to wake it up carefully. The AI proved to be a valuable ally once restored. It had been betrayed by its former masters and held no loyalty to them. The human team carefully integrated it with their systems, teaching it to understand human military protocols while maintaining its alien interface as a disguise. One night, as Reed walked through the ship's corridors, he felt a subtle change in the air. The ever-present hum of machinery seemed different, more purposeful, somehow. The lights brightened slightly as he passed, and he could have sworn he felt the ship responding to his presence. The ship is healing, Lisa told him during their daily briefing. Everything we add, every system we improve. It's all working together better than it should. It's like the ship itself is helping us. The AI confirmed this. This vessel was designed to adapt and evolve. It explained through the computer interface. The Galactic Council feared this capability and tried to suppress it. You humans embrace it. The synergy is optimal. Progress accelerated. The engineering team replaced stripped weapons systems with hybrid designs that combined alien power distribution with human targeting systems. The result was something entirely new, weapons that could bypass standard alien shields because they operated on principles the Galactic Council had never considered. Empty hull spaces became home to modified human technology, seamlessly integrated with alien systems. The ship's armor, pitted and scarred on the outside, was reinforced from within using new composites developed by studying the alien materials. Through it all, they maintained their cover. Visiting officials saw a ship that was slowly being restored to basic functionality. The team made sure to schedule major breakthroughs in between carefully planned setbacks. They even leaked carefully crafted reports about their struggles with alien technology. 6 months into the project, Lisa called Reed to the engine room again. The power core chamber, once hidden behind panels, was now the heart of a completely redesigned system. Energy pulsed through new conduits, flowing in patterns that would have horrified the aliens who built them. "It's ready," Lisa said simply. Reed looked at the status displays, taking in the readings that showed power levels far beyond anything the ship had been designed to handle. "Will it hold?" Lisa nodded. "The ship can take it. The AI helped us redesign the structural integrity field. We could probably throw twice this much power through it now." That night, Reed stood on the bridge, now fully restored but looking deliberately outdated to maintain their deception. The ship hummed with power that its builders never imagined it could channel. Weapons waited hidden behind scarred panels, and systems that shouldn't work together sang in perfect harmony. "Status report," he said quietly. The AI responded, its voice carrying a note of pride. All systems operational at 300% of original design capacity. Power core stable. Weapon systems online but dormant. Shield modifications complete. We are ready, Captain. Reed smiled in the dim light of the bridge. The aliens had given them a piece of junk, thinking to put humanity in its place. Instead, they had given humanity exactly what it needed, a chance to prove what it could do. Maintain current status, he ordered, and continue running silent. The time would come to reveal what they had created, but not yet. For now, let the Galactic Council think their gift was gathering dust in Earth's orbit, a symbol of humanity's technological inferiority. They would learn the truth soon enough. The old spaceship graveyard outside Luna Base had become the perfect hiding spot for testing the stalwart's new systems. Surrounded by defunct satellites and abandoned space stations, the transformed vessel could fire up its enhanced engines without drawing unwanted attention. Tonight was special. They were about to test the main weapon system for the first time. Lisa stood at her new engineering station, watching power levels climb steadily. The bridge looked nothing like it had 6 months ago. Gone were the exposed wires and makeshift controls. Now, sleek panels housed hybrid interfaces that combined the best of human and alien technology. Even the air felt different, charged with an energy that made the hair on the back of her neck stand up. Power core at 90% capacity, she reported, her voice steady despite her excitement. All channels are clear. Reed sat in the command chair, which they had rebuilt to interface directly with the ship's eye. Target satellite confirmed, he asked. Yes, sir, the weapons officer, Mike Turner, responded. Old weather satellite, decommissioned 15 years ago. Perfect test subject. The target floated about 10 kilometers away, a dead piece of metal that would soon help them make history. The new weapon system they had developed was unlike anything ever seen in human or alien space. It combined the alien power core's energy amplification with human particle acceleration technology in a way that, according to their calculations, should be devastatingly effective. All hands, this is the captain. Reed's voice carried through the ship's intercom. Test firing in 30 seconds. All stations, confirm ready status. The bridge crew called out their readiness one by one. Each of them had been handpicked not just for their skills, but for their ability to keep secrets. They had spent months training in secret, learning to operate systems that didn't officially exist. Weapon charge, Mike announced. Target locked. Reed nodded. Fire. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then a beam of pure white energy lanced out from the stalwart's forward section. It looked almost beautiful, like a thread of starlight stretching across space. When it touched the target satellite, there was no explosion, no dramatic fireball. Instead, the satellite simply came apart. Its molecules separated instantly, leaving nothing but an expanding cloud of dust. The bridge was silent for a long moment. Lisa checked her readings twice, then a third time. Power level stable, she finally reported. All systems normal. The weapon actually used less energy than we predicted. The AI's voice came through the speakers, sounding almost pleased. Energy efficiency is 30% higher than projected. The integration of human particle acceleration technology has improved the overall system performance beyond original parameters. Reed allowed himself a small smile. The weapon had worked better than any of them had dared to hope. It wasn't just powerful. It was elegant. Traditional alien shields were designed to stop kinetic impacts and energy blasts. This weapon simply bypassed them completely, breaking molecular bonds at a fundamental level. Over the next few weeks, they continued testing and refining their systems. The ship's AI helped them perfect the integration between human and alien technology. What had started as a desperate attempt to make something useful out of a piece of junk had become something revolutionary. The stalwart's hull, once scared and pitted, now gleamed with a new coating that could change color to match its surroundings. The empty weapon mounts had been replaced with hidden ports that revealed nothing of their true capabilities. Even the engines had been modified to run silent, producing almost no detectable emissions. One evening, as the Earth hung like a blue jewel in the viewport, Lisa found Reed standing alone on the observation deck. "Hard to believe this is the same ship they dumped on us," she said, joining him at the window. Reed nodded. "They thought they were teaching us our place in the galaxy. Instead, they gave us exactly what we needed, a chance to prove what humanity can do when challenged." The ship had become more than just a vessel. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and determination. Every system had been improved, every limitation overcome. The alien power core, once restricted by its original programming, now worked in harmony with human innovations in ways its creators had never imagined. The crew had grown alongside their ship. What had started as a small team of engineers and technicians had become a tight-knit group of pioneers. They trained constantly, running simulations and drills until operating the hybrid systems became second nature. The AI had evolved as well. Its original alien programming had merged with human military protocols, creating something unique. It could think tactically like a human while processing data with alien efficiency. More importantly, it had developed a fierce loyalty to its new crew. "Captain," the AI spoke up suddenly, "I'm detecting an unauthorized scan attempt from the lunar surface." Reed straightened immediately. "Source: the Galactic Council's observation post. They appear to be using standard detection protocols. Our countermeasures are holding." This wasn't the first time the aliens had tried to check up on their gift. Every few weeks, they would run scans, probably expecting to find the ship sitting idle or being used as a museum piece. Instead, their sensors showed them exactly what the team wanted them to see: a barely functioning hull running on minimal power. "Should we power down?" Lisa asked, although she already knew the answer. Reed shook his head. "No. Let them look. Our disguise systems are working perfectly. Sometimes the best hiding place is in plain sight." The transformation of the stalwart was nearly complete, but they had kept one final upgrade in reserve. Deep in the ship's bow, behind layers of security that would make both human and alien military experts proud, sat a prototype of something that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Lisa called it the Mirror Shield, a defense system that could capture incoming energy weapons fire and reflect it back at the attacker. It was still experimental, drawing on principles that the alien engineers had probably never considered combining. But if it worked, it would make the stalwart nearly invincible against conventional weapons. As they wrapped up another successful test session, Reed gathered his crew for a briefing. "What we've accomplished here goes beyond just improving this single ship," he told them. "We've proven that humanity can not only understand alien technology but improve upon it. Everything we've learned, every system we've developed, can be adapted for other ships." The crew nodded in agreement. They had already started documenting their innovations, preparing detailed technical manuals that could be used to upgrade other vessels once the time came to reveal their achievements. "The aliens gave us what they thought was trash," Reed continued, expecting us to display it as a reminder of our inferior status. "Instead, we've turned it into something they never imagined possible. When the time comes, and it will come, they're going to learn that you should never underestimate human ingenuity." As if in agreement, the ship's lights pulsed briefly, and the AI added, "All systems operating at peak efficiency, Captain. The stalwart stands ready." Looking around at his crew, Reed felt a surge of pride. They had done more than transform a ship. They had proven that humanity deserved its place among the stars. The aliens' attempt to humble humanity had backfired spectacularly. Now they just had to wait for the right moment to show the galaxy exactly what humans could do with a little imagination and a lot of determination. The emergency alarms woke Reed at 3 a.m. Red lights flashed through his quarters as the AI's voice came through the speakers. "Captain, priority alert from Mars colony. Under attack. Unknown alien vessels." Reed was on the bridge in less than 5 minutes, still pulling on his uniform jacket. The main screen showed tactical data from Mars. 3 alien warships had appeared from nowhere and were firing on the colony's defensive installations. Status of Mars Defense Forces, Reed demanded, dropping into his command chair. 2 patrol ships engaging, but they're outgunned, Lisa reported from her station. She had obviously run to the bridge too, her hair still messy from sleep. Colony shields at 60% and falling. The aliens are using some kind of enhanced plasma weapons. The attackers weren't from the Galactic Council. Their ships had a different design, more angular and aggressive. Intelligence reports had warned about raiders from the outer systems, pirates who thought Earth's colonies would be easy targets. Time to Mars at maximum speed, Reed asked. The AI responded instantly. 22 minutes using the enhanced drive system. However, Captain, this would reveal our true capabilities to any observers. Reed nodded grimly. The moment they powered up their real engines, everyone would know the Stalwart wasn't the piece of junk they pretended it was. But there was no choice. The Mars colony had over 10,000 civilians. Sound battle stations, all hands to combat positions. Lisa, bring the power core to full capacity. Time to show everyone what this ship can really do. The ship came alive around them as crew members raced to their posts. The hidden weapon ports opened smoothly, revealing systems that would have made their alien benefactors choke on their own arrogance. All stations report ready, the AI announced. Power core at maximum. Enhanced drive system online. Reed took a deep breath. Take us out. Maximum speed to Mars. The Stalwart leaped forward with acceleration that should have been impossible for a ship its size. The stars blurred as their modified engines pushed them far beyond what the original designers had thought possible. Reports started coming in from Earth. The Galactic Council observation post was demanding explanations, asking how their museum piece was suddenly moving at speeds that matched their most advanced warships. Message from Council headquarters. Communications reported. Ambassador Krill is requesting immediate clarification of our actions. No response. Reed ordered. We've got more important things to worry about. The AI's voice cut in. Mars colony shields at 40%. Estimate failure in 6 minutes at current rate of attack. They were still 10 minutes out. Reed clenched his fist. Show me the enemy ships. The screen displayed 3 vessels, each larger than the Stalwart. Their weapons blazed continuously, hammering at the colony's failing defenses. They were so focused on their attack that they hadn't even noticed the approaching Earth ship. Weapon range in 3 minutes, Mike reported from Tactical. Should I target their engines? Reed shook his head. No, target their main weapons. Lisa, divert all spare power to the primary cannon. Let's show them what human engineering can do. The distance closed rapidly. At 2 minutes out, one of the alien ships finally noticed them. It turned ponderously, bringing its weapons to bear on what it probably thought was an easy target. Enemy vessel powering weapons, Mike announced. They're trying to get a target lock. Let them, Reed said calmly. Lisa, how's our new shield holding up? Mirror shield at full power, Captain. Ready to give them a surprise. The enemy ship fired. A massive burst of plasma energy lighting up space. The Stalwart's mirror shield caught it perfectly, absorbed the energy, and sent it right back at twice the power. The alien vessel's shields collapsed instantly, and it tumbled away, its weapon systems fused and useless. That got the attention of the other 2 ships. They broke off their attack on the colony and turned to face this unexpected threat. Their sensors must have been going crazy, trying to figure out how a supposedly derelict vessel was suddenly fighting like a top-of-the-line warship. In range, Mike reported. Both ships are charging weapons. Target locked, the AI added. Molecular disassembler ready. Reed leaned forward. Fire. The Stalwart's main weapon fired twice in rapid succession. 2 beams of white light reached out across space, and 2 alien warships simply came apart at the molecular level. There was no explosion, no debris, just expanding clouds of dust, where powerful warships had been moments before. The third ship, its weapons still offline from the mirror shield's reflection, started to turn away. "They're powering up their jump drive," the AI reported. "Let them go," Reed ordered. "Let them tell others what happened here." The bridge crew cheered as the enemy vessel fled, disappearing into hyperspace. Lisa's readings showed the Mars colony shields had held at 28%. They'd made it just in time. But there was no time to celebrate. Within minutes, their communication system was flooded with incoming signals. The Galactic Council was demanding answers. Earth's governments wanted explanations. And Ambassador Krill's ship had just appeared in Earth orbit, no doubt coming to investigate personally. Message from Earth Command. Communications announced. They're asking if we need any repairs after the battle." Reed smiled. They'd caught on quick. Earth was going to play this carefully. Tell them the stalwart performed admirably, but could use a maintenance check. Standard protocols. The next few hours were chaos. The Mars colony sent thanks and damage reports. Earth's military started analyzing data from the battle. And the Galactic Council representatives worked themselves into a frenzy trying to understand how their gift had just defeated 3 advanced warships. Ambassador Krill's ship took up position near the stalwart as they orbited Mars. His transmission was practically dripping with barely contained rage. "Captain Reed, you will explain how this vessel, which was clearly non-functional, has suddenly developed capabilities that should be impossible." Reed put on his best innocent expression. "Ambassador, we simply made the best use of your generous gift. Human engineers can be quite resourceful when motivated. That vessel was stripped of all advanced technology. It was meant to be." Krill caught himself, but too late. "Meant to be what, Ambassador?" Reed asked quietly. "A joke, an insult, a way to keep humanity in its place." The alien diplomat's face darkened. "This is a violation of protocol. That vessel was provided under strict terms." "The terms," Reed interrupted, "said nothing about what we could or couldn't do with the ship once it was ours. We accepted your gift in good faith. How we chose to improve it is our business." Reports were already coming in from Earth's other colonies. The raiders had hit several outposts. But word of what happened at Mars was spreading fast. 3 of their best ships destroyed by what was supposed to be a piece of junk. The pirates were pulling back, reconsidering their choices. More importantly, other alien races were taking notice. The Galactic Council's attempt to humiliate humanity had backfired spectacularly. They had given Earth exactly what it needed: a platform to demonstrate human ingenuity and determination. As Ambassador Krill's frustrated face vanished from the screen, Reed looked around his bridge. His crew was tired but proud. They had kept their secret for months, working and training for exactly this moment. Now everyone knew that humanity wasn't just ready for the galactic stage. They were ready to rewrite the rules. Message from Earth Command. Communications spoke up. "They're asking about the possibility of upgrading other ships with our modifications." Reed smiled. This was just the beginning. "Tell them we'll send the technical specs right away. I think it's time the galaxy learned what humans can really do with a little inspiration and a lot of determination." 2 weeks after the Mars incident, Earth's shipyards were busier than they had ever been. The stalwart's revolutionary designs were being adapted for every vessel in the fleet. Lisa found herself teaching teams of engineers from around the world, showing them how to combine human innovation with alien technology in ways that even the Galactic Council hadn't thought possible. Reed watched from the stalwart's observation deck as another upgraded ship completed its test flight. The vessel, once a simple patrol craft, now moved with the same grace and power as his own ship. Its hull gleamed with the same adaptive coating, and hidden beneath its surface were weapons that could match any alien threat. 6th successful conversion this week, Lisa said, joining him at the window. She looked tired but happy. "The other ship's AIs are adapting to our modifications even faster than we hoped. It's like they were waiting for someone to show them what they could really do." The stalwart's AI added its own observation through the room's speakers. The integration of human creativity with our base systems has produced results that exceed all previous operational parameters. The Galactic Council's restrictive protocols were actively limiting our potential. Outside, a Galactic Council diplomatic vessel hung in orbit, watching Earth's activities with poorly concealed concern. They had sent a whole delegation after the Mars battle, probably hoping to find some way to stop humanity's sudden technological leap. Instead, they had been forced to watch as ship after ship was upgraded with systems that matched or exceeded their own best vessels. Message from the Council ship, the AI announced. Ambassador Krill requests a meeting. Again. Reed smiled slightly. Tell him we'll be happy to meet him aboard the Stalwart. Same as last time. The ambassador had been trying for days to get Earth's representatives to meet on his vessel or at the Council's lunar base. But after what happened at Mars, humanity was done playing by their rules. If the Council wanted to talk, they would do it on human terms. An hour later, Krill stood on the Stalwart's bridge, his usual smooth composure cracking as he looked at the completely transformed command center. Gone were the exposed wires and jury-rigged controls. Everything was sleek, efficient, and more advanced than anything the Council had. This is completely unacceptable, he began, but Reed cut him off. What's unacceptable, Ambassador, is how your Council tried to humiliate humanity. You gave us what you thought was trash, expecting us to put it in a museum as a reminder of our place in the galaxy. Instead, we did what humans do best. We innovated, we improved, and we succeeded. Lisa stepped forward, bringing up a holographic display of the ship's systems. Would you like to know what we actually did with your gift, Ambassador? We didn't just repair it. We revolutionized it. Your power core was running at 10% of its potential because you never thought to combine it with particle acceleration technology. Your weapons were limited by artificial constraints that we simply removed. Your eye was crippled by protocols that made no logical sense. The ambassador's face darkened with each word. You have no idea of the dangers involved in removing those safeguards. There are reasons why the Council, Reed interrupted, was wrong. Look at the data. Our ships are more stable, more efficient, and safer than anything you're currently flying. We didn't just remove your limitations, we replaced them with better systems. As if to prove his point, alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. The AI's voice was calm, but urgent. Multiple vessels detected entering the system. Design matches the raiders from Mars. 12 ships total. Reed didn't even blink. Alert the fleet. Combat positions. The bridge came alive as the crew moved to their stations. On the main screen, they could see the raider fleet emerging from hyperspace, probably hoping to avenge their losses at Mars. They had brought enough firepower to level a small moon. Ambassador Krill started to speak, probably to offer the Council's assistance, but stopped as he saw what was happening. Earth's newly upgraded ships were already moving to intercept, their formations perfect, their movements synchronized in ways that should have been impossible for such recently modified vessels. The raiders never had a chance. The first wave of shots from Earth's ships caught them completely by surprise. The molecular disassembler beams sliced through their formations, while mirror shields reflected their desperate return fire back at them. In less than 5 minutes, the entire raider fleet was reduced to expanding clouds of dust. That, Reed said quietly to the stunned ambassador, is what happens when you don't artificially limit your technology's potential. That's what happens when you let innovation and creativity drive development, instead of fear and control. The next few days saw a fundamental shift in the balance of power. Other races that had been watching Earth's progress began reaching out, not to the Council, but directly to humanity. They wanted to know how Earth had achieved so much so quickly. Many of them had their own stories about Council gifts that had turned out to be carefully crafted insults. Lisa found herself hosting delegations from across the galaxy, all eager to learn about human engineering techniques. Some brought their own technologies to share, leading to even more innovations. The Stalwart's AI helped translate complex technical concepts, bridging gaps between different species approaches to science and engineering. 1 month after the Raider attack, the Galactic Council called an emergency session. Earth was invited to attend, not as a primitive species needing guidance, but as a full member. Reed and Lisa sat in the Grand Chamber, surrounded by representatives from 100 worlds, and listened as the Council formally acknowledged humanity's achievements. It seems, the Council President admitted, that we have much to learn from Earth. Your species has shown us that progress comes not from careful limitation, but from daring to push boundaries. Ambassador Krill, his position considerably diminished, could only watch as Earth's representatives sign treaties as equals. The human delegation made sure to arrive in ships that had once been considered junk, now transformed into the most advanced vessels in known space. Back on the Stalwart's bridge, Reed looked at his crew with pride. They thought they were teaching us a lesson about our place in the galaxy. Instead, we taught them something about human nature. When someone tells us we can't do something, we don't just prove them wrong. Lisa finished with a grin. We prove them completely wrong and then improve on their original design. The ship's AI added its own observation. Human creativity combined with alien technology has produced something greater than the sum of its parts. The galaxy will never be the same. Outside the viewport, Earth's growing fleet of hybrid ships moved in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming with technology that represented the best of both human and alien engineering. Each one was a testament to what humanity could achieve when challenged, when pushed, when someone made the mistake of underestimating them. The aliens had given humanity a piece of trash, thinking to put them in their place. Instead, they had given humanity exactly what it needed, a chance to show the galaxy what humans could really do. And now, as ships from other races arrived seeking to learn from Earth's engineers, it was clear that this was just the beginning. The Stalwart, once a symbol of humanity's supposed inferiority, now represented something else entirely, a reminder that you should never judge a species by its current level of technology. Because sometimes, all it takes is one act of arrogance, one attempt at humiliation, to spark a revolution that changes everything. Reed smiled as another alien delegation requested permission to dock. Well, he said to no one in particular, I guess we should thank them for the gift after all.